This may not be my personal favorite, but it's definitely one of the best Batman films ever.
Yes, definitely a timeless classic that never gets old. Just like the original Star Wars films.
Yep. And Michael Keaton is easily the best Batman ever. No questions asked. I would say the rest of the cast did an amazing job in the movie as well, especially Michael Goff, who is easily my favorite Alfred, and also, most definitely, Jack Nicholson's the Joker. No doubt about that, my friend. He absolutely nailed the role. And he did a really great job making me an entertaining character. Is it just me, or did the Joker have more screen time than Batman? Well, then again, Jack Nicholson was billed first in the cast, fun fact, so I'm guessing that explains it. Kinda weird, and a little questionable, but okay. Also, rest in peace to Michael Goff, who plays Alfred, and Pat Hingle, who plays Commissioner Gordon. They were both amazing as their characters. Indeed. Okay, so the Joker's evil plan is to pretty much poison most of the citizens of Gotham. And to do so, he was able to lure those people into the parade that he created. Because he told them in a commercial that he was going to give away free money, which he did. But it was only so they could get poisoned by the lethal Joker gas, or whatever it is. Quite an entertaining and convincing performance, if I say so myself. Both the commercials and the parade. Yeah, but luckily, I was there to stop it. Well, you're no fun. Nah, I'm just kidding. You're way too much fun. I also like how brutal this version of the Joker is, with the way he uses his toys. Way too brutal for my liking. That's just how I do things. You'll get used to it. What I also love about the movie was definitely the designs of pretty much everything. Gotham City itself, Batman's costume, the Joker's costume and makeup, the Batmobile, the Batwing, and even the Batcave looks amazing. And I think we can all agree that the Batmobile in this movie, that is the Batmobile. Nothing will ever top it. Absolutely. And also, the Batsuit that I'm wearing right now, it is the most iconic Batsuit of all time. Even though I couldn't move my neck while wearing the cowl.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, I guess.
Another character we have yet to mention is Vicky Vale, played by Kim Basinger, who in this movie, she's Batman's love interest, and the Joker also has some feelings for her, for the most part. I didn't really care about that character that much. She was honestly just there, in my opinion. I'm okay with her being in the film, just not as my love interest. That's funny. I was this close to stealing her from you. Speaking of Vicky, one issue I have with the film is when it comes to Batman's secret identity. Because, you know the rule that Bruce made to not share his secret that he's Batman, unless maybe they work with him in the Batcave, like Alfred, and then eventually we'll have Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon? Well, if that's supposed to be the case, why would Alfred let Vicky into the Batcave? Without Bruce's permission, might I add. Huh. I never thought about that. Yeah, unless Bruce asked Alfred to bring Vicky to the Batcave off-screen, which I don't know why he would do that, to be honest. That was kind of out of character for Alfred. Yeah, it kind of is. I also have an issue when it comes to the Joker's identity. Now, don't get me wrong. Jack Nicholson's performance as the character was phenomenal. He absolutely nailed the role. But I feel like revealing the Joker's true identity kinda ruins the character for me. I like it better if his true identity remains a secret, as like an unsolved mystery for the audience. Yeah, normally I don't share my secrets with others, not even the audience. Besides, I'm the Joker, and that is all they need to know. And another thing about this version of the Joker, his former self, Jack Napier, he was the one who killed Bruce Wayne's parents, which, to be fair, I actually did like that change. Yeah, me too. And I was also okay with them explaining how the Joker became the Joker. But if they could figure out how to do that without revealing Joker's identity, that would have been cool too. Yeah, but nonetheless, this movie was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I even as well liked the way the Joker got defeated. That was one way to kill such a dangerous villain.
Yeah, but despite my death, I still died with a smile. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this movie a 9.5 out of 10. I cannot believe I didn't see this movie sooner. That was awesome. I agree. This is how you make a DC movie. Totally. It was everything I want to see in a DC movie. Pretty dark, too. Probably way darker than The Dark Knight. And that proves that Batman is not a character for children.
You got that right.
But the Lego Batman movie is a Batman movie for kids?
That one doesn't count, because it's Lego, not live action.
Okay, fair enough. One thing I really loved about this movie is definitely the casting choice of Danny DeVito as the Penguin. He was one of the best parts of the movie. For real.
I know. He really made the Penguin into a brutal character.
I also like that they made the character look like a penguin. You know, with his nose looking like a penguin beak, and his hands looking like a penguin wings. Pretty creative for a character that is based on penguins.
I also really like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. She played the character perfectly.
She's probably the best Catwoman ever. Way better than the one from Robert Pattinson's movie. One question. Does she have the powers of Silver Banshee or something? Because she was able to, scream so loud that she can break glass. I mean, I'm pretty sure women can do that. In the movies, at least. Yeah, but the way it happened in this movie happened pretty quickly. I also thought that the death of Penguin was very emotional. I agree. Who would have thought a death of a villain who hasn't been redeemed can be that emotional? Many villains who has an emotional death scene have all been redeemed. Heck, even Darth Vader is among them. That is true. I also like this scene where Batman
set one of Penguin's goons on fire.
Speaking of which, many people have been saying that Batman doesn't kill. Well, that's a question I want to ask to people who think that way. How do you explain the fact that he set a person on fire in this movie, which, by the way, it wasn't even an accident? People saying that Batman doesn't kill, but he actually kills in the movies, confuses me a lot. That's something we might need to discuss if we're going to do future Batman reviews. Well, that is if the fans want us to, of course. Psst, fans, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to tell him that you guys want to see more Batman reviews. I would totally appreciate that. Oh, and also don't tell him that I told you guys to do so, okay? Who are you talking to? No one. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Let's move on. Okay. Another character I do want to mention is, Max Schreck. And I gotta tell you, he was a total jerk. No offense to Christopher Walken. No wonder why Catwoman wants to get revenge on him. Especially when he pushed her out of the window. Who does that? Hey, it's Gotham. Gotham is filled with dangerous people and villains. And that's where I come in and stop them from doing evil things. Well, Catwoman was the one who killed Max Schreck, but he had it coming. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this movie a 10 out of 10. I'm, pretty mixed about this one.
Yeah, to be honest, it doesn't feel like a sequel to the Tim Burton movies. It kind of feels like its own standalone thing.
Let me guess. Because they recasted Batman?
Yes, but that's just one reason.
Here's another reason. Compared to how dark the Tim Burton films were, this film, it does have some dark moments here and there, but otherwise the violence in this movie was toned down. That's because there were people out there who were parents to younger children complaining about Batman Returns being too dark and inappropriate. So that's why it was decided for this movie to be more family-friendly. That's ridiculous. Batman was never really made to be a children's character. At least not in these movies. Just because Batman has kids-friendly merchandise doesn't mean he's for kids. Yeah, I mean, not to be selfish or anything, but I am more of a kids-friendly character than he is. Sad but true. Here's the thing, though. Joel Schumacher, the director of this film, rest in peace, he actually wanted this film to be dark. But the Warner Bros. Were like, no. Make it PG-13. It's better that way.
Yeah, none of it was Joel Schumacher's fault. All the blame goes to the Warner Bros. And all the complaints about Batman Returns being too dark.
Ugh. Your breath smells. Now, when it comes to the cast of this movie, Michael Keaton did not return for the role of Batman. I don't know if Michael Keaton hated the script or he hated the plan on making this film more lighthearted than the first two, making it less dark. So they instead got Val Kilmer instead. Rest in peace. And as for Two-Face, I don't know if Billy D. Williams hated the script, but he didn't return either, which sucks. So they instead got Tommy Lee Jones. Now, Val Kilmer, I do like him as Bruce Wayne, but in my opinion, his performance as Batman was kind of bland.
Yeah, it didn't even sound like he was trying to do his own Batman voice, like how Michael Keaton did. He just sounded like Bruce Wayne.
I also couldn't help but notice that his batsuit has nipples. Yeah, that is such a useless and ridiculous feature. Like, who came up with this?
Definitely not Joe Schumacher.
Now, when it comes to Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face, he's not a bad casting, but he is a bad recasting, because he looks nothing like Billy D. Williams.
That is a real pity. I would have been very interested to see how Billy D. Williams would look like in his Two-Face form. I bet he would look good.
Plus, Two-Face in this movie, he acted a lot less like Two-Face and acted more like the Joker. Imagine if this was Jack Nicholson's Joker in disguise as Two-Face. Now that would be a plot twist. Yeah, imagine that. But I think the main highlight of the entire movie, the number one main highlight, is most definitely Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Ah yes, Jim Carrey. He really captured my personality perfectly. Yeah, Jim Carrey's type of comedy works really well for the Riddler. Yep, and in my opinion, Jim Carrey is easily my favorite live-action Riddler. And is easily the best part of this movie, no doubt. This movie also introduced Robin for this franchise, played by Chris O'Donnell, and I guess he was alright, although sometimes he can be a bit of a brat.
Yeah, like when he stole your Batmobile and got himself into trouble just because he wanted to be like you.
That, and he desperately wanted to be my partner, but I kept rejecting that offer. Look, as whiny or as annoying this Robin might be, there is a version of Robin out there who is a lot worse. Trust me on that. I did like the way he was introduced, though, and they got his origin story right. Where he used to be part of a circus act, along with his family, called the Flying Graysons, and then his family were killed, and then Bruce Wayne had to take him in. And I'm pretty sure you all know the rest. Two problems I have with it, though. One is the person who killed them, because in the comics, Robin's parents were killed by a man named Tony Zuko, but in this movie it's Two-Face. And two, why would Bruce Wayne need to take him in? I mean, if he was either a kid or a teenager, I understand, but here, he seems old enough to take care of himself, right? How old was Chris O'Donnell during the filming of this movie anyway?
Calculating. 24.
Yeah, see? He is old enough to take care of himself. But in this movie, he was just treated like a kid. Although, to be fair, he kind of acted like one, I guess. Yeah, kind of like how I was treated like a nobody by Bruce Wayne himself. Speaking of which, do you guys ever notice that in this movie, Batman was being kind of a hypocrite? No offense. None taken, but what do you mean? 3 reasons. 1. Robin desperately wanted to be Batman's partner, but Batman kept rejecting it. But as soon as Batman saw him wear the Robin costume, he immediately agreed to be his partner, without any complaints.
Yeah, that was confusing. Made no sense.
2. He told Robin not to kill Two-Face for revenge, because killing is not an option. Yet, Batman killed Two-Face at the end of the movie. Not to mention, he killed the Joker at the end of the first movie.
Some mentor you turned out to be. Shut up.
And 3, you know how Batman has a new love interest in this movie? Chase Meridian, was it? Played by Nicole Kidman? Well, there was one part in the film where Batman said that he has never fallen in love before. But clearly, he has forgotten about the fact that he has. Twice. I mean, have they never seen the first 2 films? Probably not. Oh, and speaking of Chase Meridian, I'm sorry, but she has to be the worst love interest Batman has ever had in his life. I mean, as much as I love Nicole Kidman as an actress, her character in this movie is a creep. I know, right? I mean, she literally turned on the bat signal to get my attention just to flirt with me, when it's supposed to be used for emergencies only. You know what? Chase Meridian, she made me appreciate Vicky Vale a lot more now. Which says a lot, because I'm not really a fan of that character, but this character is not better. Definitely not. Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this movie probably like a 6 out of 10. I'm sorry. Is this really supposed to be a movie? Because this feels more like a commercial than a movie. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with this movie. This was awful.
Yes, and I cannot believe they had to get Arnold Schwarzenegger involved in this trash.
And who the heck came up with the idea of casting George Clooney as me? I mean, no offense to George Clooney. He's a nice guy and a great actor and all, but he was just not a good Batman. Well, maybe he would have been if they gave him better direction. And a better costume. Yeah, probably.
So, where do we even begin with this movie? The characters? The story? The cinematography? Because I feel like there's a lot we could talk about with this movie.
Maybe we should start with the characters, since we did talk about George Clooney's Batman earlier.
Point taken.
Yeah, George Clooney, he was not a good Batman. Plus, he didn't even try to do his own Batman voice. Like, throughout most of the movie, he was just playing himself most of the time. Come to think of it, he sounded a lot more like Buzz Lightyear than Batman. He kinda does, yeah. What they did to Batman in this movie is nothing compared to what they did to me. Because this movie turned me into an absolute whiny brat.
Yeah, this version of Robin got so unbearably annoying. It makes me want to eat him alive.
I wouldn't go that far. I can't blame him, though. I mean, compared to Batman Forever, where Robin is just, he's okay. He's alright. Here, Robin in this movie reminds me exactly of that specific other version of Robin, who I am really looking forward to trash talk in the future. Yeah, but if Robin wasn't bad enough, now we get on to the villains. And I hated the way they were characterized in this movie. And guess what? This movie has 3 villains. Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Bane. Bane in this movie was poorly characterized. I mean, first of all, they turned him into a Frankenstein knockoff. And second of all, compared to the comics where the character has genius-level intellect, in this movie, they made the character dumber. Heck, he barely even talks in this movie either. He just makes a bunch of growly noises. Similar to Frankenstein. I will say this, though. Bane's costume design was actually pretty decent. It didn't bother me as much. But, yeah. I feel like they could have done a lot better with this character. I guess same goes for Poison Ivy as well. The green costume, not the other thing. But the problem is, Poison Ivy in this movie was incredibly bland. Like, I don't know what it is. She just wasn't that interesting of a villain in this movie. Yeah, but honestly, I don't really care how bland she was in this movie. I never even liked Poison Ivy as a character to begin with. Mostly because of my allergies for plants and flowers and stuff. Yeah, that's reasonable.
But now, we get to the most infamous part of the entire movie, and as much as I hate to say this, this is his worst performance yet. And that is none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
I know, right? Like, this is the worst villainous performance ever by literally one of the best action stars of all time.
I'm also pretty sure that Mr. Freeze is supposed to be a tragic character who would do anything to save his wife Nora. I mean, yes, they did include that in this film, but most of the time, they made the character into an absolute joke who makes these stupid one-liners with these stupid ice puns.
Don't even get me started on that.
How many ice puns did he say throughout the film anyway? 'Cause I feel like there's a lot.
Calculating. 27. Maybe more.
That is a lot.
What I also did not like about the film are most of the designs of certain things. Like Batman's costume, Robin's costume, Mr. Freeze's costume, heck, even the Batmobile. Yeah, honestly, I am glad that Batmobile got destroyed after that chase scene. I also have a lot of questions about the costume that they gave me. It's not even a Robin costume. That's Nightwing, with a cape. And who in the right mind thought it would be a good idea to give me a Bat credit card? Yeah, like, they really had the guts to give one of the greatest superheroes of all time a Bat credit card? What, does Batman have his own bank or something? Seriously. I mean, come on. I'm already rich. I don't need a customized credit card that doesn't even exist in real life. And also, don't even get me started on the opening scene where Batman and Robin were putting on their suits. I mean, why do we need to see a close-up of their butts and their back nipples? Is that really necessary?
No. No, it isn't. Not only that, but the movie was also poorly edited, and there were so many stupid and cringe dialogues. And I'm not just talking about the ice puns.
And not only that, but this movie also has tons of plot holes. For example, you know how Mr. Freeze has this condition where he can't go anywhere without his suit unless the area surrounding him is freezing cold because he needs cold air in order to survive? Well, if he really has this condition, why did he smoke a cigarette? Yeah, if smoking a cigarette isn't bad for your health already, it is for sure terrible for Mr. Freeze's health. I mean, knowing his condition, that should have killed him instantly.
Here's another one. Before the final fight against Mr. Freeze, Batman and Robin, and then later on Batgirl, have to take care of Poison Ivy first. But for some reason, right after the fight scene against Poison Ivy, their outfits change all of a sudden, and they don't explain how or when.
Yeah, and how would they even have the time to go all the way back to the Batcave just to change their outfits? I'm pretty sure the entire city would already be frozen by the time they're done. We probably wouldn't have. I also think that Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy make a very questionable team-up duo, because the two of them, each, have a different evil plan in mind, and they want to, work together to make them both succeed. But the thing is, Mr. Freeze wants to use this giant telescope and turn it into a giant freeze ray and freeze all over the city, where there's Ivy wants plants to run the world. And the problem with that is, plants cannot survive in freezing temperatures. Meaning it has to be one plant or the other. Yes, my point exactly. If I could think of any good qualities, I guess Michael Goffin's Alfred was still the best part of the movie, even though I did not like that he was sick throughout most of the movie, and he was very close to dying, but thankfully he didn't die. If he did die, then the movie would definitely be a 0 for me. Yeah, agreed. And Pat Hingle also came back as Commissioner Gordon, but he wasn't treated very well either. Plus, he didn't really serve that much purpose in the film, so ouch. And I guess out of the main cast, Batgirl is the most tolerable, although, for some reason, instead of being the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, she's the niece of Alfred. Like, why? What was the point of that change?
Yes. Not to mention, she never had any training of becoming Batgirl. She just discovered the Batcave, got a suit, and then she became Batgirl. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Anyways, I think that'll be it for the review. I'm gonna rate this film a 2 out of 10.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like. But if you like this channel, please subscribe. See you next time.